We just whip this out. Are we live? Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man, whiskey sounds good. Oh, yeah, dude.
Karen's watching the chat, or the live stream. Karen? You remember Karen and Terry, don't you? They play with us every now and then. Yeah, it's...
Karen is a boy. Sensitive fuck.
No. No, Karen's a girl. Oh my god.
Wrong.
Oh, you're talking about the only girl you know is Shorty?
Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Alright. Here we go. Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, yeah. Saturday. The boys
Jesus.
are back in town.
No. I can't look at that. Okay, guess somebody didn't link it. You know it. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Noodle here, and today we're back again, back with another podcast. Shut the fuck up! Let me do my intro.
I'm sorry. He caught me off guard. He caught me off guard so hard.
I hate all of you. Today, joining me here in Greenbow, Alabama, is none other than Danny motherfucking Cooper. How are you doing?
Didn't watch the movie.
Oh, really? That'll bring you down.
Oh my god.
Also joining us here today is none other than VicVictory, the luchador. How you doing, Vic?
Oh my god. I watched the movie.
Okay. You suggested it, so I hope you watched it. So the way it's going to go is if you're used to our podcast, we're going to keep it down the same schedule, the same way as always. Start off with a little bucket of doom, move on to video game news, and finally to our favorite segment, Spoiler Alert, where this week's homework assignment was the 2004 film Forrest Gump, suggested by VicVictory. So if you haven't watched Forrest Gump, well, fucking, first off, shame on you for not watching Forrest Gump. Yeah. But if you haven't watched it, you can catch it on Netflix. Go ahead and pause the podcast. Go watch it. It's good. It's good. Did you watch it? I hope so.
Yeah. Yes, Jenny.
Oh, God. All right. So shall we start off with a little bucket of doom?
No.
All right, so
I need to start making up some rhymes too. Bucket of doom, something that rhymes with doom.
You need a little work, Vic. I give you an A for effort, but like an F- for executions.
I mean, I was never good at using a guillotine, so don't worry.
Oh my god. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. For those of you at home who don't know how to play the Bucket of Doom, in my hand I have hundreds and hundreds of useless items from around the world, and I will give each of the misfits one of those items. Huge hand. They're huge. Trust me. Thank you, Donald. But I will give them one of these thousands of useless items from around the world, and only using that item, they have to get out of a terrible situation. So, Vic,
yes.
your item are pink furry handcuffs.
Okay.
And Danny.
He does that. Oh my god.
Danny, your item is a McDonald's Happy Meal. Chicken nuggets. Barbecue sauce.
There's so many things you can do with a Happy Meal, damn it.
So gentlemen, I need to know how a pair of pink furry handcuffs and a McDonald's Happy Meal you are going to get out of this terrible situation. You're going to have a picnic, Danny with your Happy Meal, Vic with your pink furry handcuffs. And as you're walking across the field, the ground beneath you gives way and you fall down into a well. So gentlemen, I need to know, more importantly, Vic, I need to know how your pink furry handcuffs are going to help you get out of this well.
All right.
I guess you could say his picnic didn't go that well.
All right, so quick question. This is a well made out of bricks.
Yeah, we'll go like the ring well, where it's all like laid stone.
That's all I need.
Yeah, that one. The put the lotion in the fucking basket.
All right, so I'm sitting here, I'm stuck in a damn well.
Right.
Looking at my pink, fluffy, in 80s porno store handcuffs.
Right.
There's a lot of hair in the 80s, I know that much.
It was left over from the 70s. Right.
Yeah. All right. So I'm looking up this well with my handcuffs. There's a lot of hair in the 80s, I know that much. And I open them because I have a key. Because I'd be sad if I didn't have. All right. And I use them while they're open,
right,
as little hiking claw thingies, and I'll climb my way out of the well.
As hiking claw thingies. We have an expert amongst us.
I forgot the name. But you. I think it's what the new kids are using now.
This is what the kids are calling it these days? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think you can do any better than falling down a well and very laboriously and in great detail unlocking your handcuffs because you have nothing, and then you use claw?
Oh my god!
Claw things to get up the well. Can you do better with your Happy Meal, Danny?
You can.
Okay, thank you.
Is a country song about Happy Meals? Oh.
Yeah, the country song is about his ex-wife taking his Happy Meal away from him. That's how country songs work. Yeah. You do.
Oh my god. I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Take the hole deeper.
Okay.
You know, see, now, thinking about what he said, I honestly thought you were gonna say you were gonna trade your Happy Meal with that bitch from the ring, and she was gonna pull you out the well. Yeah.
I've taken a great deal of consideration with all of your answers, and I've put myself in your shoes, and I've walked the mile, and all of you, both of you, need to wash your fucking feet because those things don't smell good.
I mean, you come from a third world country.
Danny, I don't know if an army of moles is gonna be able to dig you out of a well,
if not deeper.
But I will have to say that it is far more plausible than that would happen than Vic ever using a pair of pink handcuffs as claw things to claw out of a fucking well. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So, Danny, you get the point.
Hate you. No, it was good. It was good.
You know, Vic, I think you need a better. Item.
A better useless item. Okay.
Yeah. So, Vic, your item is a ventriloquist doll. A ventriloquist doll.
Like the one from Goosebumps?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Danny, you get a phone call to your mother. Phone call to your mother. So, gentlemen, I need to know. I need to know how using a ventriloquist doll and a phone call to your mother that you're going to get out of this terrible situation. It's fireworks night. You light a massive rocket and run for cover, but it topples over, points at you, and fires. So, Vic, I need to know how your ventriloquist doll is going to save you from that giant firework rocket.
Danny has to go first. I went first last time.
Okay, fine. Danny, how's a phone call to your mother going to help you?
Is it? You know,
that's really fucking good.
Yeah,
that's really fucking good, Danny. I mean, Vic, just spill shit out of your mouth so you can go to the next round because you got nothing.
No. See, if you would have gave me the damn phone call to the mom, I would have said it was a Nokia phone and chucked it at the damn rocket. Because Nokia's. I don't, Nick. You know. Okay. I'm just gonna chuck the doll at it. Just give him the damn point. At least give me the point for trying.
all right, Danny, you get the point. Jesus Christ, Vic, come on, man! I gave you a whole doll.
Well, I mean, I would have summoned Jeff Dunham, and he would have done some impressions for the damn rocket.
Oh man, you're just. Whew. You know, without Corey here, Vic is like really sucking ass this time. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
See, if you would have gave me the phone call to mom, I would have just said it was a Nokia phone.
All right then, Vic. Your item is a Nokia. Are you okay? Vic, your item is a Nokia 3310.
Shut up.
With 50 cents of credit still on the phone.
Gotta go look up which model is the 3310.
And it's the one. Let me look it up.
One that comes with Snake. Snake and Break a Brick. Oh my god.
Nokia 3310. Noodle, pop up a picture if you will. Oh wow, that. What the fuck? It's got a. Okay, no, it's what you're thinking that it is.
All right.
Yeah, it's the Nokia. But I'm sorry, the first picture that popped up was like this gold and silver emblazed with a yeah. Danny, your item is a fake spider. A fake spider. So, gentlemen, I need to know how using a Nokia 3310 with 50 cents worth of credit still on it. That's enough for a text message, if you will. And a fake spider, you're going to get out of this terrible situation. You've got a cucumber jammed up your ass. It was an accident, honest. But it won't come out for love or money. So, Vic, I need to know how your Nokia is going to help you get this cucumber out of your ass.
The fuck is a fake spider going to help either? Oh my God, I hate you guys. Okay. Oh my God. All right. I'm just going to use logic. Pretty much. All right.
So,
going to
close your eyes. Oh my. You were carrying groceries into your house, and the bags were like really heavy, so like you're doing this weird crab walk sideways thing, and then you trip and you fall onto your bag of groceries, and it jams a whole cucumber up your ass. And you're laying out in your middle of the yard in pain, and the only thing you have clutching in your hand is Nokia, Vic.
With 50 cents credit.
With 50 cents for the credit.
See, that 50. I need that 50 cents because I'm gonna jam the Nokia phone up my ass and call myself so it'll vibrate. It'll come out.
Oh my God! Jesus Christ!
Wow. So that was the podcast. Thank you, everybody,
thanks,
for joining
everybody.
us
Have a good night. Bye.
We'll go ahead and see you guys next week.
Where Vic isn't shoving more things into his asshole.
Vic, you're supposed to tauntaun the item, not the other way around.
All right, fine.
No.
No,
That's your answer. You're shoving your Nokia up your ass and calling you.
I like it.
So the vibrations will help loosen your asshole enough that the cucumber will come out.
Buzz.
Danny, I need to know how your fake spider is going to help you in this situation.
It's easy. I am terrified of spiders. So I'm going to, like, take it out of my pocket, lob it on the ground, look at it, and then scare the shit out of myself, including the cucumber. Because it's a tiny cucumber. It's not a big cucumber. I don't need big cucumbers. It's a tiny one. And I got a tight asshole, so it's just going to go... And it's going to be a shit pickle. Shickle. Yeah.
Oh, I should have tauntauned it and called Chuck Norris. Damn it.
I went on Reddit and had a lengthy discussion with some of the people that are on there, weighing my options. And, they made a valid argument, Danny, that there's two things that's very hard to do. And one thing is to tickle yourself. And the second is to purposefully scare yourself because you're prepared for it.
Right.
So I don't really think that'll work. Plus, I really like the idea of Vic's ass, which is already full, which he cannot get a cucumber out of, that decides, I'm just going to put more things in there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's
oh my
God. Fuck it. It's not a one-way anymore. So, hey, doors are open. Let's start that traffic moving. I like where your head's going in that, Vic, and where possibly other heads are going too. So, Vic, you get the point.
Full staff on that one.
Oh my God. I should have just called Chuck Norris.
Should we do one more or should we move on? This has been going pretty quick.
I want to do one more, but it's probably just giving more points to Danny.
The points right now as it stands is Danny, you have 2 points, and Vic, you have 1. We'll do one more. We'll give you a chance to catch up.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
No.
All right. Danny.
Yeah.
Your item is the Pope Mobile.
Yes! It's almost as indestructible as the fucking Nokia.
Almost.
It's still charging. It still has a battery.
Vic, you're gonna lose this challenge.
Oh, great.
Your item is a can of alphabet spaghetti.
Yo.
God.
So, gentlemen, I need to know how using the Pope Mobile and a tin of alphabet spaghetti, you're gonna get out of this situation. Oh, Jesus. You're ice fishing on a frozen lake. When you fall through the hole and the ice refreezes above you.
Jesus Christ.
So Danny, I need to know how you and the Popemobile, why you drove out the middle of a lake in the Popemobile and like we're fishing out of it, fell through the ice, and it freezes above you, and now you're trapped inside the Popemobile. How are you gonna get out of that situation, friend?
The Popemobile is impenetrable, and it also doubles as a sub. Crazy, right? So I'm gonna go in the underwater hatch. I'm gonna get in the Popemobile, and I'm gonna drive the Popemobile off to where I can get through the ice, and I'm gonna re-emerge from the ice like a fucking Russian submarine, just and then I'm gonna go.
Oh my
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Vic, you're on a lake. You're fishing, and you're not catching anything. So you're like, I'm glad I brought my tin of alphabet SpaghettiOs. And then you like crash. Yeah, you crash through the water, and now you just have this tin of alphabet SpaghettiOs. How is that going to help you?
All right. Before I give my answer, Karen texted me saying I should have texted Jiffy Lube for the last one.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good.
All right. So I'm stuck underwater. I'm dying because of oxygen.
Right.
So little did people know fish can read alphabet soup. So I used my can of alphabet soup to send a letter to Aquaman. And he sends a swordfish to carve the ice around, and I'm free.
There's a lot of flaws in this, but I'm gonna leave it to the boss.
I'm just.
I mean,
I'm trying to imagine.
I googled it.
That Vic crashes through the water, right, and he sinks to the bottom, right, and there's letters floating around him, and he's like, there's a fish that's staring at him like, what the fuck are you doing down here? And as he's freezing in this water and no oxygen, he's desperately trying to find all the letters and like put them in order, and then he like blacks out, right? And then as he's dying, his brain comes up with this dream that Aquaman has came and saved him.
Hey, it's the best I had.
Fuck.
My only problem is that the Popemobile is just a car.
I think the Batmobile isn't just a fucking car, is it? No.
It kind of is.
No. It's
okay, yeah, but you still can't drive the Batmobile underwater.
You could if you try.
I mean, because if he could, he wouldn't have like the Bat boat or the Bat ski jets or whatever.
It's called branding.
And so I don't think that you'd be able to drive out from under the water, Danny. However, I really don't want to give the point to Vic.
Oh, ye have little faith. And the point goes to Vic.
And the point goes to Vic. Vic has faith. More faith than you in the Popemobile. He has faith that Aquaman, with all the powers of SpongeBob, will save him.
While his brain is dead. And fuck you, Aquaman's OP. Every
He's
time.
OP on 70% of the planet that nobody gives a shit about.
Just not on where water is. Oh my god. I hate you.
All right, we're moving on. Let's get
Pick
a
up
video
a
game
comic
news.
book every now and then. Fuck.
All right, so video game news. There was a lot that kind of went on this week. A lot of very specific things that went on this week, and some of the stuff that I wanted to go ahead and talk about. First and foremost, because I'm such an Overwatch fucking geek, Doomfist.
Yes.
This was released on the playtest realm. Right now, you can play him, and apparently he's OP as fuck, and nobody is complaining.
Wait.
My question is he voiced by Terry Crews?
No, he is not voiced by Terry Crews. Unfortunately, they went with another guy. Let me see if I can find his name.
What? Are they giving Terry
yeah.
Crews another character?
Terry Crews is playing on the he's doing something for Xbox right now. That's why he didn't get.
Oh yeah,
into it.
he's doing that one game, huh? That one game that came out.
The Xbox exclusive for the Xbox.
Crackdown 3.
The actor who is doing Doomfist is Sahir Nagawa.
Ooh, I was wondering where you was going with this.
I know who he is. Put up a picture. I don't know if you guys want to look him up, or should I just give you guys a picture?
I'm on IMDb right now, so don't worry about me. Sounds like a Vic problem.
Let me save this. Anyway, so he Doomfist is out and he's released. Like I said, he's super OP. Nobody really seems to be giving a shit about the fact that he's OP.
I've never seen him. Huh. Neat.
He has an amazing voice, by the way. And I think they did a good job putting him instead of Terry Crews.
Terry Crews would have been pretty outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, but see, here's the thing. He has been, I wouldn't say working with Overwatch, but he has been meeting with them a lot. So I think maybe, I mean, they've been teasing Doomfist for about 7 or 8 months straight.
I remember.
Not including that they mentioned him, when Overwatch first got released, like a year ago. So they've had a lot of buildup. So you would think that with all this buildup, they would have kind of had already everything kind of set in motion. You know what I mean? And to have Terry Crews like 2 or 3 months before that, they come out with Doomfist, be like, hey, I'll take the Doomfist role if you guys don't have one. And for them to shift everything, just because of that, it just seemed a little unlikely in hindsight. However, that does not mean that Terry Crews won't be part of Overwatch at some point in the future.
Right.
And apparently, according to lore, Doomfist was from Nigeria. So having Terry Crews voice him, although would probably be what everybody would want in the over-the-top, he would actually have broken role as opposed to all the other characters that were there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He because I will agree with that about Overwatch. Super multicultural, and I appreciate that. That's super awesome. So they kind of fits the motif of what they're doing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool. I just want to go ahead and say it. Doomfist is live on the Playtest Realms, so you can head over there and play him if you'd like, if nobody else has already picked him. So there's that. Next bit of news I got is that Firefall, the MMO, free-to-play MMO meets shooter, is closed forever now.
Wait,
why?
What is it?
As in it got shut down.
Firefall?
Yeah, Firefall. Firefall was one of the newer MMOs. It actually came out in 2014, like brand new 2014, and it's like 3 years later, and they're like, this isn't working, and they shut down the fucking servers.
But it's the most eagerly anticipated game of 2012.
Yeah. They're from Red 5 Studios. Yes. They made this really big, ambitious MMO, and as it turned out, it was a lot of grinding and work for like nothing.
So you got to find the balance.
Like in game, nothing.
We've talked about this before. The grinding, you got to find that perfect balance. Destiny kind of tinkered it to where it's a little bit of a grind with a big reward now.
See, that was the thing that World of Warcraft did really well.
Yes.
Was the grind.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Especially like if you look at. And
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
Like vanilla WoW was a lot of fucking grind. Let's be honest.
God. 45
but
to fucking 60.
What?
Level 45 to 60.
What are you doing about?
That was the hardest fucking grind. Those last.
Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, but vanilla WoW I think was a little bit too grindy. But then when they got to like where you go to Outlands, when the Lynch King, those were like prime times in WoW that the grind was real, but they didn't like slack off on it yet.
They made it worth the while because I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Argent Crusade when I was in Afghanistan. That's all I fucking did was the Argent Crusade, man. I fucking grinded out everybody's rep and got all the fucking mounts. Fuck So it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah, you had to have like a big reward at the end of a long grind.
Yes, or something that they're going to want for sure.
Right, something that they're going to want, and like it never came out with this. So as of yesterday, as of the 7th, they closed the doors, shut down all the servers. It's completely dead, and now Red 5 Studios is turning its attention towards the mobile market.
I mean, money's to be had there.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess they're gonna take the money where they can, but yeah, it's now shut down.
Was the game any good?
No, not really. No, it was mediocre at best. Gameplay wise, not really. They were trying to go for this weird. It was almost like a secret world where, like, it's instead of you having swords and stuff. I mean, Secret World still had swords and magic, but it was like all weapons. It would be sort of like a StarCraft MMO kind of thing.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool concept, but once again, it's like, what are your classes going to be? Heavy, ranged, engineer.
Right.
Where you going to play Overwatch with the story? I mean, it doesn't really feel like it would go together.
I've always wanted an FPS MMO, like, because I like first-person shooters. I'm not good at them, but I like them. I know my limitations on those games. And Destiny does fulfill that as much as people don't like that game. Destiny fulfills those two obligations. You got to grind. You got fucking first-person shooter, and you got classes. There's 3 classes with 3 sub-specs. You got to pick a certain spec to fit your play style. It was fucking great, man. It is fucking great. And and I hope they keep that going with 2. Bungie's really good at making 2s. So 3's doomed.
The beta's coming in 10 days.
Beta is coming soon. July 11th?
18th.
Close enough.
I guess we'll move on. I don't really have anything else to say about that. I just thought, that was good news. But I didn't play the MMO.
That is.
So.
And I do like.
It's not every day that an MMO shuts down. I mean, fuck, RuneScape is still going.
Well, no, RuneScape at least has a fan base. I don't want to fucking hear that shit. But like Guild Wars, what is it? The one you just mentioned, Secret World. What? Who plays that? Apparently, someone.
A lot of people still play Secret World. I mean, they're still coming out with stuff for it.
I know, and that's cool.
And here's the thing, like, I really like Secret World, but I didn't have nobody to play with. And then when we did play together, I feel like we barely scratched the surface because, fuck, we didn't even get out of that first zone.
No, we did not. You
know what I mean?
And
I thought the setting was cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to give it a go. Again, like a real good college try.
Give it a good old college effort.
Yeah. Apparently, coming soon, you too can run a cursed zoo in the Eldritch Zookeeper. Part management, part tycoon, part survival game. So in the spirit of the Bullfrog era management games of yesteryear, you remember those games, Theme Hospital, Theme Park World, Dungeon Keeper, those kind of things.
Theme Park, Roller Coaster Tycoon and Theme Park World. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was all about that shit. That's what got me into gaming. And
So an indie developer, Matt Ludard, brings us the Eldritch Zookeeper. Here, apparently, the rules are simple. You manage a cursed zoo full of monsters and try your utmost to prevent the zoo visitors and yourself from being eaten. That's pretty much it.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. His previous game came in the form of the Cat Machine. I never played it, and has since led him into full-time game development. His latest creation is a little more sophisticated and sees players erecting fences, building shops and amenities for park guests, and feeding monsters around the clock. But rather than a floating camera high above, you control the actual zookeeper. Because if there's going to be a Jurassic Park type situation involve Lovecraftian monsters, you want to be in on the action.
So
that's
like
actually really fucking cool.
Fuel, man. Fuck.
So what he says, here's a blurb as found on the Steam's newly launched Steam page. Deceived by a particularly well-dressed skeleton, a cursed zookeeper is forced to manage a zoo full of eldritch abominations, ideally with as little bloodshed as possible. Can our unfortunate zookeeper break his curse? Every day, a new terrifying creature that must be cared for arrives through the interdimensional portal. Construct enclosures and keep your monsters fed and reasonably content, and build amenities for the zoo visitors. A happy monster zoo is when a creature's teeth, claws, exploding tendencies are far, far away from the guest's vital organs.
Good.
They need those. Monster rampages are discouraged. The artwork is very hand drawn, but I like it. And I don't know. I think if I can scrounge together some monies, I think that's a game that I'd probably want to play. It sounds interesting.
I got some news.
You guys remember the old PC games from that
cool
used to be like? No.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, friend.
I love you.
It's too late. You've already ruined it. Go on. Tell your story. I'll wait for mine.
It's not a story. It was just wondering if everyone remembered those PC games that had the Rube Goldberg machines, and you had to like use random items to make the ball go to one point from the other.
Nope. Can't say that I do, Vic.
Making shit up again, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds kind of cool.
I got two pieces of news. One's kind of late. Steam shut down Greenlight finally.
I did hear about that. A lot of people there are mixed reactions. Some people say that it's a really good idea, and some people say that it's probably a bad idea.
If you look at the amount of games that were released month by month basis, there were so fucking many, and all of them were just like prepackaged bullshit, copy and pasted with the same kind of game style with different themes. It was fucking stupid. So it's finally shut down. That was like 2-3 weeks ago now. Jim Sterling kept me up on that. Love you, Jim.
Do you know how they're doing it now? Because I know they're not just going to let anybody get on.
They're going to do something else now, and I can't remember what it was, but it hasn't launched yet. But they do plan on doing some kind of Greenlight thing, new kind of Greenlight, or an indie developer thing, because that's where all really good indie games come from. Really good low radar games come from, is the indie scene, and there were a few good things that came from Greenlight, but with developers giving away free keys and swag and all this other dumb shit to bolster their fucking point for their game to try to make it seem better than it is. It was crap, and there wasn't only just like one or two developers. There was a lot of fucking people doing it. So I'm of the mind with Jim Sterling that I'm glad it's gone. Fuck him.
Okay.
You know what was a good indie game?
What's that, buddy?
No Man's Sky.
Shut the fuck up.
Podcast, everyone.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Okay, and
Jesus.
Other news.
Okay.
Players Unknown Battleground, or PUBG.
Oh.
Is
we were just talking
rumored,
about that.
Not confirmed, but rumored to come to PS4. It was supposed to be an Xbox PC exclusive, but now there's talk of it coming to PS4. I was gonna scoop it up and get it for PC because it looked pretty cool. It was kind of like
Arma.
It's
pretty much Arma.
It's pretty much Arma, King of the Hill.
Yeah, I was just talking to Noodle about that. I was talking to Noodle about that before you joined in. I'm like, have you played Battlegrounds? Like, no, I haven't. It's like a 90. Cool. It is. I've seen a lot of live streams about it.
Yeah, and
you got 98 people. You got 98 people in one big map of Russia, and a plane drops you in certain location. You have no ammo, no gun, no armor. You have to go and look for armor and ammo and med packs. You kill a person, that's it. You're done. You leave the game and you start a new one.
It really is.
Yeah.
But whoever's coined it did a good job, and it's fucking like it's gotten ridiculous how big the community is built around.
If it comes to PS, yeah, if it comes to PS4, I'm telling you, it's gonna blow up.
And that's what I was saying. My buddy, he plays on Xbox. Gun Bullets.
Is that like a okay? Here's my question. Because I'm always hesitant about these new games, especially when they're like, I'm not gonna say MMO, but like mass people can play them.
Yeah.
Is it like fucking Rust?
It's kind of like
Rust. Or like DayZ, where you can kind of be against the environment, but then you can also just backstab each other.
Nope. It's not environment. This is Battlegrounds. Fight everything in your path.
Fight to the death.
The difference is the map closes in on you. Like there's a plague and you die if you're outside of the fence or whatever, under the dome kind of thing. But the dome shrinks and you die if you get outside of it.
Every 5 minutes it'll
there
shrink.
There is an end. There is a finale to it. You end up, everybody's end up in like a fucking 100-foot radius or some shit, and it's all out fucking chaos if you're, if you got actual weapons.
Yeah.
And
they also have
I'm gonna
duos.
give it a go.
So it's not like a long-term survival game, kind of like Ark or like Rust. It's more like you go in there, you try to like salvage as much stuff as you can. The map gets smaller and smaller, sort of like a Hunger Games situation.
Exactly.
That's what it is, Hunger Games. But I mean, they also have duos too. You can do 2-team matchups. Like you and a friend can go in, and it'll be like teams of 2. So like the 98 people that were there,
it's like 50 teams.
Yeah, and it's fun.
But,
it looks fun.
That sounds a lot better than what I thought originally you guys were talking about. Like it was like the big open world, and you can go in there because I hate those games.
No, I do too. I'm saying
because you feel like you can't trust anybody.
No.
And then people who have been sitting there forever fucking spawn camp you.
Yeah.
And then they just steal whatever shit. They just kill you just for the fucking lulz. You can never fucking enjoy the game. Or worse, you have to like, I hate to say like hurt because it sounds so fucking pussy, but you have to go out and hunt other fucking people in order to like succeed. And I just feel like that ruins
I'm right
the
there.
game for people.
Based on the gameplay that I've been watching a lot, because I've been watching a lot of it lately. Pretty much, this is how it starts out. You're in a big like empty lobby with all the players, right?
Right.
Before the game boots up, you can try out test weapons that are on the ground. And then you're in a big old one of those bomber ships. And you pick when you want to launch off your parachute. So you launch down your parachute, and obviously there's going to be people parachuting with you in different locations around the area. And you go inside abandoned buildings, houses, on the floor, crates, and there's weapons. And if you're lucky, you'll get a good weapon, whatnot, or armor, and you go in and they have the footsteps. You can hear footsteps from far away, close away.
Yeah.
And if you shoot people,
tactical kind of situation.
And it looks fun. To me, it looks fun. So if it comes out on PS4 and it's not free, it's gonna make a pretty penny. And if it is free, it's gonna have.
Here's my deal with it. It's like Rust. It's like Ark. Before Ark finally became a real game, it's early access. It's a beta alpha kind of thing. So
speaking of, Ark is coming out of early access in August.
Is it a real game finally? Even though it's on every fucking console?
It's not. But it's coming out of early access, and they've already jacked up the fucking price from the $30 price point that it's been since its fucking get-go to now $60.
I'm glad I got it back in the day.
Yeah, me too. And so here's the thing, and a lot of people are like really fucking outraged about this because apparently Ark is like a really great game. But the only reason I haven't played it is because it is like Rust, and it's something that you remember Strike was like really hype about Ark.
Yeah.
Well, he played it, and he said I don't know if it's changed since then, but he fucking hated it because you go in, you do really well, right? Like you make your little camp or whatever. You spend all fucking day doing it. You, the person, like Danny, you are exhausted and you're ready to go to bed. Right. So you log out and you fucking go to sleep. Well, you come back and you're dead and you have to start all over again because when you logged out, your character never leaves the environment. He just kind of like lays down and falls asleep wherever he's at. Yeah, so you have people who just run around and be like, oh, this guy's sleeping. Pop, 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 fucking kill him. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
They take all your shit. And so you come back after a full day of fucking grinding and all your shit's gone. Yeah, so you have to do it over and over and over again. And he did it. He played it for about 2-3 weeks. He ended up getting in with the group. And they literally had to set up a shift schedule, a real life fucking work schedule for people to be there 24/7 to protect everybody. And he was like, man, fuck this, man. It's like not even worth it. So he went back to Diablo or back to whatever he was doing. And I don't like fucking games that do that. I mean, it had such an amazing fucking like hype to it, I guess. And I mean that's what it is.
Servers and like you can put cheat codes and stuff. Yeah, I mean it's true, obviously, but
yeah, but then what's the point? Because okay, we all fucking play together and then that's it. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, like Minecraft will always have a special place in my fucking heart because we played that for so fucking long. But it's almost like, yeah, you can play on their public servers, but hey, you can get a private server and then you and your friends can play there and you can all jack each other off by showing, you know, how great you can build things.
Right.
You know, and it's like there's no, I feel like you lose out on a lot of that gameplay by doing those kind of things. But at the same time, that kind of play pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say that it's a game mechanic that I don't like. I would have to say it's just the other fucking people that play are assholes.
Yeah, no. Fucking toxic communities and shit.
Man, there's always a toxic community everywhere. So
I got one more piece of game
okay.
news, if you don't. Waveframe, kind of a
I've seen it, but I haven't
game.
seen it.
The controls are wonky. I'm not a fan. I'd probably like it more if I give it a shot on PC. They got an update, like a huge update coming. It's a free-to-play game, kind of a pay-to-win. You can pay to get new.
What game?
Waveframe.
Yeah, it's like a space game or something.
Yeah, it's like.
You mean Warframe?
I meant what you know.
Okay, yeah,
Warframe.
It's pretty much.
My bad.
There we go. Because I'm like,
watch your attitude.
Okay.
I'll punch you in the throat.
Yeah, that game is it looks nice.
It
has
cool,
really
and
nice.
It's probably gonna be even better on PC. I'm gonna give it a go on PC because I didn't like it on the PlayStation. The controls were wonky, so maybe a WASD and a mouse is gonna do it better for me. But
it might do because like I remember like don't get me wrong, like I love I'm trying to think of the name of the game. There was a game that I used to play on fucking my Xbox like all the fucking time. I can't remember the name of it, but it was great. I loved it. And then I got it on PC, and I tried to play it, and the controls were fucking atrocious. It's like I needed a fucking Xbox controller to play that game. So it might be something like that, man, where it was designed better to play on a fucking
all games are
PC, and then when they ported it, well, I wouldn't even say that because there's some games that I prefer to play a controller.
No, I'm that way. I'm the flip of that with Rocket League. I can't play Rocket League with a keyboard and mouse. I need a controller.
Really? Yeah. I tried it with a controller. It's so difficult. Oh no, wait. No. You're right. No.
You don't like
I'm thinking.
either.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, but Warframe is it has really nice graphics. I'm not gonna lie, it has a really good story, but it's sadly because I played it. I used to play it, and sadly, it's a merchant's game. I mean, you can earn everything in there, but it'll take a really long time, and it's a merchant's game. You get something nice. You if you have to grind endlessly to get the things that people want from this place called the Void, and then you sell it for the currency that you can pay real money for to get the things you want, etc. And it's really grindy. It's almost like Destiny, but 10 times the grind is worse.
Right, it's like Destiny Division had a fucking baby in it. It's vanilla World of Warcraft grindy. Yeah, perspective.
Yeah.
Speaking of older games, gentlemen. Speaking of older games, Rebellion, the studio, is best known for their Sniper Elite series.
Yeah.
You remember those games? Because I was a big fan of Sniper Elite. They came out and said that they're ready. They're ready, and they've already begun working on Evil Genius 2.
What? This isn't where I thought you were going. Holy shit.
And
yeah,
I was like,
for like Nazi zombie.
I was like, Evil Genius fucking 2? Like, get the fuck out of here. I loved Evil Genius. I still play Evil Genius every now and then on my fucking computer.
Nice.
And so it's cool that they're gonna. It's not. They made it very clear. This is not an update. This is not you know, like a remaster. It's none of that. It is literally a all new story that takes place after Evil Genius 1.
Okay.
So it's only been like fucking 20 years, but I'm finally gonna get my fucking Evil Genius 2.
Good for you, friend.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is now in closed beta testing, and the first list of 16 of the game's hero characters and their unique abilities have been posted. So here's the list of the hero characters that are in the game thus far. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got Boba Fett, Han Solo.
Boba Fett Vader's so fucking overrated. He's a Rocketeer with a goddamn laser gun and a fucking missile on his backpack. Fuck that faggot.
Okay, Han Solo, Leia, Luke, Bosk, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, the Emperor, General Grievous, which I think is pretty fucking cool.
That I can get behind.
Iden, Kylo Ren, Londo, Maul, Phasma, Rey, and Yoda.
I can get behind.
So, Luke, Leia, Vader, Han, Boba Fett, Lando, Bosk, and the Emperor returning from the previous game.
Right.
General Grievous and Darth Maul are additions from the prequel trilogy. Rey, Kylo Ren, and Captain Phasma join in from the Netvlix. What is it? They said that it's weird that it includes Phasma but not Finn. But Finn was announced that it's going to be coming out later on, so he might not just be in there.
Because EA knows about
and because Finn is coming out later, and they have already announced that they're going to be putting out some of these characters later, that means, ladies and gentlemen, that the Jar Jar Binks dream isn't dead just yet.
No, you stop.
You too might be able to play Star Wars 2 Battlefront 2, whatever.
Star Wars 2 Battlefront.
As Jar Jar fucking Binks.
I'd rather start a shotgun Cobain style.
I'd rather watch another SHIT-uation movie.
I also have some Destiny 2 news, if you guys are interested.
I am, always.
Destiny 2's social space, called The Farm, has a Cryptarch and multiplayer soccer.
Yes.
Something to do when you got nothing to do.
Yes, because people do it now.
Yeah, so they have a new social space, and I guess you're going to be removed or evicted from the city by the Cabal. Does that make sense to you guys? Because it means nothing to me.
Evicted, yes.
Yeah. The Farm is a quote-unquote a fairly dynamic space. A postmaster will ensure that the mail still gets delivered, and Tyra Karn from the original Destiny will serve as the Farm's Cryptarch.
Yeah, because Raul died. Yeah. Yes.
It will also feature unlockable activities, which they said are diversions that will provide ways for players to entertain and draw attention to themselves. One of the changes for Destiny 2 is to realize that the idea that you're going to be here with 26 other players, 25 other players.
Wow, that's
and we want to give you.
That's a lot.
And we want to give you.
Now, Vic?
16, I think.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's a step up.
Yeah, a way to draw attention to yourself and be noticed, and have people look at your gear. So we have soccer. You can start a game with other players, and then there are activities here that will let you run faster or add an effect to you that other people will notice.
Yay.
And as people spend time in these spaces, they'll learn how to acquire flair like that. And so you may notice that when the game launches, people doing things that you didn't think were possible in the space. And you follow them around and figure out how they're doing it, and then learn how to do it yourself. So that's kind of cool.
Getting on top of the vault.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I can't do it. I've tried.
So they got that. And then they said Destiny 2 will have locked loadouts and public event timers.
Yep, I heard about that too.
Okay.
The most notable change in the news is that some activities won't let players change their loadout mid-mission. Previously, you could swap between whatever weapons and gear were in your inventory with a quick menu dive. Game director Luke Smith wants players spending less time in menus and more time carefully considering what to bring. Luke Smith said, the difficulty, certainly pinnacle level of the game, we've tried to make a much tougher game that if you think your weapons and items as a golf bag, we only want you to look in the golf bag before you start an activity and go, oh, what should we bring for this?
Right.
He says, because some of these activities are going to be a loadout locked once they start, which means you can't change. So that seems kind of cool, I guess. And then now event timers and locations are built right into the map UI. Ooh. As and then the guy who wrote this said, as someone that wasted too much time waiting around public spaces to complete some of the more tedious bounties, is an extremely welcoming change. Yeah. Destiny is best when you have a glut of stuff to do, even if some of it isn't exhilarating, and can effectively chug through it. So that's kind of cool. So public events and stuff will actually be on your map, and it'll give a timer when they'll end. So you kind of know, if you want to prioritize and get there first before it disappears, that kind of thing.
Public events were a pain in the dick, man. There was a separate website to keep track of them.
Had to use freaking public event timer, and it was always.
I never had an issue. Mine was usually pretty on spot.
So Luke Smith, the guy for Destiny 2,
Yes.
has also been quoted in saying about one of the raids in Destiny 2. He said, Raid 5, when we look at it, it was about building a place you believe is real. That was our priority, that it's a place that you believe could exist. It's unlike anything we've done. The team is incredibly talented, and it's a joy to see them work. So he didn't exactly say what the raid was going to be, but he was like really stressing the fact that this could be a place that you would actually believe is a real life place. So that's all he said about that.
I do. You know what, man? And I appreciate Destiny for this. Their raids, they don't give you any info. You have to figure that shit out yourself. Go find some people who already did it or something like that. Like, be one of the world firsts. Because I remember...
You remember when that used to be a fucking thing?
Oh, my God. I loved it, dude. It would be announced through the world chat.
Yeah, like, you'd be sitting there fucking RPing or doing whatever, and then, like, somebody would have gotten to, like, the next boss, and it would be blasted all over chat. Hey, so-and-so fucking guild
World
just broke
first.
through this fucking boss. World first, this, blah, blah, blah. This boss down, da-da-da. Like, it was great. Now it's like, you just sneeze through their fucking raids.
No, dude, get the fuck out. It's just, it's okay, kill the boss, move on. There's no, because I've watched it, because I've always been curious, like, what's going on now, and there's no, it's not like, oh, you better get out of the fucking bad, because there's no real bad, and you burn the boss down too quick.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't like, and that's something that I really did like, because when we had our guild, we didn't really do too many raids. Because we weren't that big, like Vic, when we played World of Warcraft, like our guilds were like mostly RP guilds, so we didn't really have hardcore raiders. Well, yeah, at the end, and then because we did RP and PvP, but we mostly did.
We had a good PvE guild. You weren't there for that. Me and Izzy played with this dude Chris, who was a lot like Andy, Vic. Just he runs.
No, I played with Chris before.
Did you play with Chris? Yeah,
because him and his group, they would always do raids.
Yeah.
And so we would do PvP. We would do the battlegrounds together. Because remember, we were really big into battlegrounds.
Right.
And so we did a bunch of battlegrounds. And when they found out that me and you were well, they already knew that you were a good fucking hunter. But when they found out I was a fucking pretty badass fucking healer, when they would go redo raids or they were doing practice runs. They'd shoot me the invite and be like, hey, we're a healer short. Hey, you want to fill in this time? We're just going to go practice, or we're gonna see if we can't try to push this boss. So I mean, I got my fair share of raid time, but it was like you had to be in their chat. You better be on the fucking ball. Yeah. You gotta have your head on a fucking swivel. You gotta you have to know your shit. You have to know the timing of everything.
Like this dude Andy that runs our runs our Destiny group. It was just pretty great, man. Andy's on his shit, and I like it.
But that's it. That's all I got for video game news. Are we done?
It was good game news. Hit that outro music.
I don't think we have outro music. Should I make outro music?
You should. You got intro. I like it.
Okay. All right, let's move on to movie time.
Movie time. Not gonna make a new rhyme. Boom.
All right.
Done.
It's sort of like a Zen puzzle. Did you? Yeah. It was a new rhyme, but you said you weren't going to.
I lied.
I like it. Make my nipples tingly. This week's movie was the 2004 hit Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump had a bunch of actors in it, including Tom Hanks. I fucking closed my internet browser, so I didn't have the fucking list.
Gary Sinise.
That's the guy who played Lieutenant Dan, right?
Lieutenant Dan. You ain't got
Okay, so all right, so we had obviously Tom Hanks, Sally Field. We can't forget about her.
She had the AIDS baby.
No. Sally Field was Forrest Gump's mom.
Mom.
She had the AIDS.
Robin Wright had the AIDS baby, and then you got Gary Sinise, who
needed aid.
Who's Lieutenant Dan, and who was also a detective after he ended the Bubblegum Shrimp Company. Okay, so Vic, you are the one that picked this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know, when's the first time that you watched the movie, and Why? Why pick the movie for this time around?
Well, I watched the movie a long time ago. I think I remember it coming out on TV, and I watched it. Yeah, I mean, it started halfway through, and I'm like, oh, like I missed a bunch of stuff, but I liked what I saw. And then when I saw it on Netflix a long time ago, also, I watched it, and I sat down and watched it in front, start to finish, didn't stop. And I'm like, wow, this is like all the stuff that happened back then. Obviously, not all of it was completely real because it's from Forrest Gump. But
what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it showed a lot of stuff.
Ross is gonna fly.
A lot of recurring events back then, like racism, like the fight in Vietnam.
Vietnam.
And the most thing was people know how to, if you make a movie about a retard, people sympathize.
But you can't go full retard.
No, you never go full retard.
No, but I mean, I loved it, and it showed that, to me, I think it showed that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, good things can happen to you, or you can make a good situation out of something you don't have.
Well, that was deep, bro. Seriously, I can see it all movie points already. Just kidding. Let's do it.
All right. What about you, Danny? First time you watched the movie, and how'd you feel when Vic, you knowingly knew he was gonna fucking suggest this film?
I knew he was gonna pick it because every time we're playing Destiny, he's like, "Okay, Jenny," or just fucking randomly doing dumb shit like that, which is okay. I'm cool with that. It's fine. The first time I saw this movie was probably 1995 when this bitch came out on VHS. For those who don't know what a VHS is, that's like this big black box thingy, bigger than most cell phones, but not a fucking phablet. It had the movie in there like a cassette player, except, well, okay. So a cassette is, but I saw it way back in the day, back in 1995, which was, oh my God, 20-some-odd years ago now. I watched it as a younger man, and I didn't know what really it was until I watched it as an older man, and then I grew greater appreciation for what it was. But that's the first time I saw it was like 1995. I don't know, Noodle, if you remember back in the day, they had to buy these 10 movies for 99 cents a movie.
Blockbuster?
No, not Blockbuster. They did this mail.
No, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It was weird.
It was one of those things where you pay $1 and you get 10 CDs.
Yeah.
Because they want you to keep the subscription, but nobody ever kept the subscription. They would just take all the fucking free movies or CDs and stuff.
Well, we did that. We got Forrest Gump and Jurassic Park, a couple other movies. I think Mortal Kombat was in that collection. We had a decent VHS collection back in the day, man.
Land Before Time, all of them.
No, believe we already had that before that kind of shit happened, friend. Don't you offend me. But I remember watching it as a kid, and 95 I was 9 years old, and I had no idea what was going on. And I watched it again as an older man, like I said, and I got it. I get it. It was like, man, this dude's been through a lot of shit, and he don't know what's going on because he's fucking retarded. Pretty amazing. Pretty much. And I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it for this week, though, because none of your fucking business. That's why.
Because you didn't want to. You couldn't be bothered. You were working at a fair.
Right.
Let's see. I think the first time I actually watched this, I was already in the military. And I believe that I saw this on TV with Wayne.
Love Wayne.
Yeah, I love Wayne, too. But that was the first time I saw it. And when I saw it, I was thinking, this movie's really fucking good. And Wayne was like, "You've never seen this movie?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "What? Where the fuck have you been?" So he actually went out and bought the fucking movie. It was one of 2 movies that he owns, I think. The only other one that he had for the longest time was Reservoir Dogs. He loved it. So yeah, so then that's when I watched it. So then when you said you had to watch it again, you know, for this week, I mean, Forrest Gump was one of those movies where like you watch it, but you watch it a few times throughout the years and you got it. You know what I mean? Like, I get the story. There was no need to go back and rewatch it.
Right. Thanks, asshole.
And so yeah, so we went back and rewatched it, and yeah, I didn't find anything new. it just kind of it's there.
Oh man.
So Vic, what would you say is like a favorite scene of yours, or just generally, you know, what would you like about the movie?
I liked a lot of the stuff, and there was, I mean, I liked the movie, but there was some stuff that you. There was a lot of stuff that, I mean, like little things that made the movie a bit funnier, like when he came back from Vietnam and he got discharged and he went home. They gave him the check for the $25,000 and they had his face on everything ping pong related. And the picture they took for the cutout, his eyes was closed. He was holding the ping pong, what's it called, paddle, and his eyes were closed. And he had his like feet spread out with a ping pong paddle with his eyes closed.
Oh, fuck.
Also, I always wondered, what? I hate you. I hate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll just keep it short.
Yes, please.
When he gives the speech about what they saw in Vietnam and the mics cut out, he actually said something, and I had looked it up.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
said,
Go ahead. No, I remember hearing about this, and I want to hear you say it because I've never heard, and I'm excited now.
Oh, like he actually went up there and said a speech.
He had a speech. He had a really good speech, but the mic got cut.
He said some people in Vietnam, when people go to Vietnam, some people come home to their mamas with no legs, and some people don't come home at all, and that's bad. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that's fucking great. That's very Gumpian.
And I figured out why the guy was crying, because the guy after they put the mics back in, the guy's crying. He's like, "That's so right on, man." Like, I finally knew why he cried, because
right on, man.
It was sentimental.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, that's so right on. Danny, what about you? I know it's been a while, and I know you give shit about this movie, but I mean, like, it is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
You know, and so I mean, like, if you had to like think back, you know, what were like memorable scenes or something that you actually liked about Forrest Gump that stuck out in your mind?
The ping pong. It's that's one of my favorite things. It's just like, look, just keep your eye on the ball, hit the ball, and he's like, it's the whole army thing where he's in the army during Vietnam. Where he's like, Private Gump, why did you put that weapon together so fast?
Because you told me to, drill sergeant.
Outstanding, Gump. You may be the finest soldier yet. So, you know, shit like that. I was like, God damn, I couldn't be in the army in the 60s. Fuck all that, dude. I'm on the army dream.
Yeah, that's like when that's when they would actually beat you.
Mm-hmm. It was like a huge contrast to a movie from the same time, Full Metal Jacket, from the same era. Not from the same time, but like it shows like the army side of it, and you know, fuck, man, fuck. But the ping pong,
it's rough.
Scenes were my favorite, by far.
I had this love-hate relationship with the movie.
You hate to love it and love to hate it.
Yeah, kind of. It's one of those things where it's like, I like the movie for what it is, but I wish. The problem I have with Forrest Gump is it is what was the name of that Will Smith movie where he was like the last guy on fucking Earth?
Oh,
I Am Legend.
No, I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Last of
My bad. My bad.
The Last of Us. Jesus Christ, that's a video game, man.
Shut up, faggots.
I Am Legend. I Am Legend was a great movie, but it should have been named anything but I Am Fucking Legend.
He was no kind of legend.
World War Z was a great movie. It should have been named anything but fucking World War Z.
Right. Okay.
Because here's the thing: none of these three movies have anything to do with the fucking book that they were based off of.
No, not at all.
None. Zero. I Am Legend, the movie recap, he was a military scientist, right?
Yes.
And he was working on a cure. And at the end of the movie, he has the big showdown with the big zombie creature things, and then he takes off, and they end up like, well, he dies, right?
Right.
But the girl ends up in a colony, and she has the cure, right?
Right.
In the book, it's a reverse Dracula story. That there was a cure for cancer, something that was going around, and it gave everybody vampirism, and vampires became real. The problem is they weren't monsters that stalked in the night. Life carried on. It was just the opposite of what it is today. So people would wake up on sunset, get ready for work. They would go out to work and earn their fucking money.
Right.
And then, you know, make sure that they're home before fucking dawn. And he was a bum, and he was a human, the terrible human who, as you go to sleep during the daytime, he would come out of his castle, you know, up on the hill and come down and kill you and kill your children. He saw everybody as a monster, so he was going out there and eliminating all the fucking monsters in the world. So he became the legend of the human, just like we have the legend of Dracula. So that's where the book I Am Legend comes from. It's this reverse Dracula story.
The boogeyman of these people.
Right, exactly. And so they went in, and eventually they tried to kill him and stuff, and they had to they got to volunteer this girl who was like less light sensitive than everybody else, and they disguised her as a regular human, and she snuck in there and whatever. But he was like a drunk and alcoholic. He was not a scientist at all.
Not at all. Not even close.
In World War Z, once again, a military dude, scientist trying to find a cure. He's running around all over the fucking place trying to get a cure or whatever. That is not what the fucking book was about at all. The book was an after-action report of dozens and dozens of people's stories of what happened during the account. And Max Brooks was the guy who was, all he did was record what their stories were, and that was it.
But to be fair, Brett is hot.
To be fair, yes. But I'm not saying that the movies weren't good. The movies were great, but it's almost like they paid all the money to buy the name of whatever book they were from just to take the fucking fan base.
Yeah.
Because I've always said that World War Z would make a terrible movie, but it would make a fucking brilliant miniseries where every episode is a different story.
I've seen that before, where people are like, take a book and turn it into a season. Like Harry Potter could have been so much better. A couple other movies like that, but turn a book into a season, like Game of Thrones did. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. They should do that with a lot of movies, and I'm down for that.
Like I'm trying to imagine them trying to compress the Band of Brothers series into like a 2-hour movie.
No, fuck that. It wouldn't work.
It would be fucking terrible. You would have no grasp of the gravity of what these guys have actually been through. Yeah, you'd have like quick cutscenes about all the shit that they did, but you'd have no sense of their character. You'd have no sense of, you know, how much they've transformed and changed. And
you
like
wouldn't grow attached to them like you do in seasons.
Right, exactly.
Not nearly as emotionally deep.
So to take this very long-winded and round conversation and bring it back to Forrest Gump, have either of you ever read Forrest Gump the book?
He said read.
No, I'm assuming not. Here's the thing. The book has very little to do with what the movie's about. And in fact, I think that the book is actually far more entertaining than the movie is. For example, Forrest Gump, he cusses a lot in the book.
Oh man,
he actually has 2 books. He actually has 2 books. One, okay, well let's there's a big list, but I'm just gonna pick out a few things that are huge differences between the book and the movie.
Look, the differences are huge. Okay, believe me, big differences. They're gonna be amazing.
In the book. Oh my God, shut up, Donald. In the book, Forrest, he's 6'5" and weighs 242 pounds.
God damn.
He's a big boy.
He big.
In the book, Forrest becomes an astronaut and goes into outer space.
Shut up.
And while he's there, he meets an ape named Sue, right, in the spaceship. And they actually crash in the jungle and are taken hostage by cannibals.
Shut the fuck up.
Forrest becomes a world-class chess player. Forrest and his ape, Sue, run off together. They become best friends through the whole book, right? It's him and his ape. They grow shrimp in shallow ponds. They don't have a shrimp boat. They just grow shrimp in shallow ponds. Once again, he cusses a lot. Forrest has a very low IQ, same as the movie, except that he has a savant-like ability when it comes to physics. So physics, he knows everything.
He's
but
like
he's a fucking idiot.
Hoffman in
Rain Man.
Rain Man, but about physics. Definitely gonna hit the hill. Gotta do 40 miles an hour.
Right.
Gotta go fast.
He met Bubba in university, not in the army. And Bubba is white in the book. He's not black. They didn't try to do some fucking weird racial gap.
Shit.
Jenny actually leaves Forrest and gets married to another man, and she raises Forrest Jr. with that man. And she lives. She doesn't get AIDS.
Oh my god.
Shit, Jenny.
Forrest leaves the shrimp business to travel around with his ape and Lieutenant Dan as a one-man band.
Lieutenant Dan.
The Lieutenant Dan one-man band.
Forrest does not have the catchphrase, life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. Forrest's catchphrase is, being an idiot is no box of chocolates in the book. And then in the book, he also runs for U.S. Senate. And after a speech, they ask him this really tough question, and his reply to the speech is, I've got to pee. Let's see. Forrest actually flunked out of college. Forrest grows up poor. Forrest.
He runs for Senate. What?
Yeah. He actually grows up dirt poor in a shack. He's not like rich or anything. He doesn't have big.
Does he get rich? Does he become rich?
Yeah, he becomes rich, like in the story.
Senator, so yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't get elected as senator. He just ran for Senate. And then in the book, he actually has sex with Jenny on several different occasions. Because in the very beginning of the book, she is laid out naked on the fucking, like, the dinner table, passed out from their, like, 3-hour fuck session. And he's standing in the kitchen naked, and he is sitting there looking at her, remembering his life. There's no little fucking feather that comes down and he picks it up and he starts telling random strangers a story. No, he's like, he's all fucked out in like the kitchen.
He's on like a fuck high,
basically. And then in his mother doesn't die. His mother actually doesn't die until the second book. And that's why there will never be a Forrest Gump 2, because the author
Forrest Gump 2.
Yeah, because the author saw the movie after, he sold them the rights and they were like, we'll take care of your baby, right? They came out with Forrest Gump, which is a touching story. Don't get me wrong. The movie is fucking great. But he looked at it and was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, this isn't any... Yeah, this is nothing like the fucking book. And they were like, oh, well, this is, the movie. This is better, than whatever. And so the author refuses to sell the rights to Forrest Gump 2. So there will never be a Forrest Gump 2.
I feel like if they did, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I said I feel like if they did make a Forrest Gump 2 and made it just like the book, people would not like. People would not like.
I was thinking too, man.
Well, like here's the thing, like it wouldn't work anyway because they mixed the first and second books together anyway. But in the second book, in the first book, Jenny and Forrest, they fuck all the time, but she actually gets pregnant by her husband. And has a kid, and they go off and they live together. Well, the kids, she named the kid Forrest Gump after her good friend, Forrest, because they were friends. But then they both mysteriously die at the start of the second book. And so Forrest Jr., who was a teenager, goes and lives with Forrest. And then that's where the second book picks off. I didn't really get to read the second book, but apparently that's what happens. So there's this weird love-hate relationship between, like I said, Forrest Gump, because I really like the fucking movie, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to see Forrest
say cuss words. Shit, Jenny.
Dude.
Jenny, this is full of bullshit. Jenny, them fucking gooks are shooting at us.
No. Gotta kill all these Jerry Zipperhead motherfuckers so I can get home to Jenny.
I mean, the worst thing he didn't even say anything because they were like, oh, these coons are trying to go to school or these coons are at the door or whatever. And there's like, oh, well, there were raccoons at the door. Mom will chase them off with the broom. Like, he didn't even say coon. So,
did he say?
Yeah. So there's that. That was my spiel on Forrest Gump and why I love and loathe the movie.
Rant. It was a rant.
Yeah,
I
want another rant.
As the time frame rant.
No, it's not. But I mean, like, it's just...
Good.
There's a huge continuity, like I said, between the book and the movie. And I'm not really one to judge a movie based off of the book. But when you have these huge differences, I mean, fucking huge differences, like it's almost like you just you took the basic concept of the book and was like, oh, it's an idiot who does great things, and instead of doing anything that the book says, you just fucking take that concept, pay the author off, and just do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. You know, and that's what annoys me. But I'm just saying, what they shit out was a good movie, and I did like it.
And that's, you know, it's completely different from like Jurassic Park, completely different from the first book. Like, holy fuck, completely different from what Michael Crichton wrote.
Yeah, my favorite in Jurassic Park was where they take the eggs and they poison them, and then they leave them as bait for the raptors.
Dude, that was so.
Raptor eats it, and it gets all fucking poisoned and shit.
Metal in that book. Still metal in the movie.
Yeah, they definitely pussied down the characters in the movie.
Yeah.
Down,
but you know, it is what it is.
Still a great movie though.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Does anybody have anything else to say?
It's a dinosaur.
Anybody have anything else to say about Forrest Gump? I think that's pretty much it. I didn't really have anything else to cover on this because, like I said, I feel like it's a common movie, and you know, Vic, I will say this: you picked a great movie with Zatoichi. It's not a good movie, but it was a great choice because it was different and a little uncommon, something we haven't seen. And while I do appreciate these movies that we have seen all the time, like the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or Phantom of the Opera, and then now Forrest Gump, I feel like, I don't know. I think I've seen it enough to where I don't really have to make too many comments, and it's a common enough movie that you know, I think we can move on pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's all I gotta say about that.
So, Jesus Christ, can we do a?
That was good.
I know. I left that door open. And he just took it.
He just walked right in.
And all of a sudden, there she was. So, Vic, what's your rating, man? What's your rating for Forrest Gump?
Man, I liked it. And obviously, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Jennies.
Ooh.
5 out of 5 Jennies.
Ooh.
All right, Danny.
Yeah.
What was your rating?
4 out of 5 retards, because you never go full retard.
Oh my god.
That's great. I got to clap.
You guys know my scheme. If you got 2 hours to blow or 2 hours worth to blow, I say put the drugs down. If you haven't watched the movie before, watch it. It's worth the rewatch, I think, just to refresh yourself on the story. And I'm not gonna lie. When his mom died,
Yeah.
I still got that thing in the throat.
The right here in the middle of your chest, you're like,
Yeah, we're like, if you push this any further, or if there was nobody else in the house, I'll let out a few tears.
yeah.
Like it hits
The Adam
you
apple.
right there.
I will say, and you know, and this is my turning my man card or whatever, but fuck it, I don't care because I'm a man. I do what I want. When I rewatched it as an older man, some tears did shed at the end, realizing how great he was and what he had done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, he never. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna.
This motherfucker! I swear to God. Pictures.
His life is like a box of chocolates.
No. I didn't mean to ruin your Black Panther party.
So, pictures.
Pictures.
Let's get the pictures. I'm excited. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. It's.
All right.
Of course, you're excited.
I'm always excited for pictures, and believe me, friend, when I show you my picture, you're gonna lose your mind. It's amazing.
You're gonna tell me what you
Is it
stole.
gonna be like Strike, where you just took the cover of the movie and just added dicks to everything?
No, friend, that's not me. I don't do that. I wish I did though. It'd be a lot cooler if I did. Come on, fucking computer, cooperate. You fucking.
Everybody's waiting.
I am too. I'm brain.
Audience is full of suspense.
Oh God. You know what, Vic? Go ahead and do yours, man. Mine's not cooperating right now.
All right. Here you go. This is what I did.
All right, bringing it up.
Am I even in the right chat right now?
I don't think you're in the.
Did you send it to Jeff?
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
That's good.
Wowzers.
That's good. I like it. Oh, that was good, Vic. Good picture.
That's it was good. You could tell it was made on a phone though. So yeah, good job.
He used like 4 apps, man. Leave him alone.
I'm not even kidding.
Generator, friend. That's all you need.
Danny, if you had a few more apps, I feel like we'd be able to see your picture.
How about you eat the blackest part of my ass?
There we go.
There we go.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love it. Good picture, Danny.
Thank you.
All right, here's mine. I worked really hard on it, and I hope you guys like it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I need to zoom in.
I'm so done with you. I'm so done.
That's the only thing when that scene, he fucking slapped Jenny. He went all like slow-mo, started walking towards him like dead focus. Fuck the Black Panther guy, you know, he's just gonna whoop his ass. I was like, in my head, and I said it out loud. I was like, he's got a crazy eye. He goes like, like, that's it. That's my picture.
That's good. Oh my god.
God, I wish I could vote for myself because Jesus Christ, I still.
You are the deciding factor in this, friend. For we would vote for each other.
I am. I'm gonna have to go with Vic.
Okay.
I like your Lieutenant Dan. You got new legs. That's the cat thing.
Yeah.
But I like Vic. Very creative. He's getting better at his pictures.
That's fair.
So there we go. So Vic, you go ahead and get the point for that. Danny, though, I think you got the essence of the movie.
Hey.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the essence award.
Hey, 3-3. Right?
Your picture had nothing to do with the movie, so it only vaguely covered what the movie was about, and just like the movie was.
Not gonna lie, I thought I was
so.
gonna go reverse, but I'll take the results. I'll go with that.
All right, so there we go. Are we ready for questions?
No, but let's do it.
I'm not
All
ready.
Right. Okay, so first question.
Wait, we gotta write something in the
your,
thing to get ready.
write something in the chat. There you go.
Oh, wait. You right.
First question with 1 point, arguably the easiest question.
Arguably.
Remember, I'm going to say the question. I'm going to say go, and then you click the button, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Johnny.
Question 1. What is Lieutenant Dane's full name?
Oh.
Go.
I'm not
Did
even
you say
trying to
go?
Google it.
Did you say go
You
yet?
said go.
Yeah, that's it, go.
I
Yeah.
said go.
Okay, Vic.
I think Dan Taylor.
It is. It is Dan Taylor. That's correct.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding,
Well
ding.
played, friend. Well played.
Vic gets 1 point. Very good.
The
All
go
right.
part cut out on me. That was.
All right.
You gotta stop
Second
using the
question.
potato for your internet.
His phone. He's because he's running like too many apps right now.
3.
Second question, worth 2 points. 2 points. According to Forrest Gump, how long did it rain in Vietnam? Go. Go ahead, Danny.
3 months.
How many?
3 months.
No, sorry, that is incorrect.
Bollocks.
Very close, though. Vic, you
I guess.
like give
I
a
guess
good old
I'll
college
guess.
try?
Yeah, 4 months.
4 months is correct.
Oh, you fucking.
Ding, ding, ding. 2 points. Look at that whopping lead. All right, Danny, this is your chance. This is your chance to tie. I don't think you're going to get this, Danny, because you didn't watch the movie. The third question worth 3 points. Arguably the toughest question.
Arguably.
When Forrest Gump was a child, his mother had a sign posted on their front porch by the door. What did that sign say? Go. Danny, I swear to God, if you answer dead nigger storage.
No, that's in front of Jimmy's house.
There you go.
Right.
Wow.
But it says use back door.
No, that is incorrect. Although I like it, but incorrect. Vic.
It said Gump House rooms for let.
That is correct.
Shut you Googling motherfucker.
I haven't Googled anything. I had to sit and think.
You are a fucking liar and a fiend. You are a traitor and a rebel spy. Take him away.
All right, gentlemen.
God damn it.
Here's the Jeopardy question. I need you to private message me. Points you're going to gamble. Points you're going to gamble. To make it interesting, since there are two of you,
Fuck.
I should make you all fucking gamble all your fucking points.
No.
It's a game of strategy, friend.
Yeah, let's do that. You're all gambling all of your points right now on this Jeopardy
Wait,
question.
I want to know how many I have in total at least.
The points right now is Vic with 9 points and Danny with 3. You're all betting all of your points on this answer, so make it good. No Googling. Are you ready?
God.
Private message me your answer. Here's the question. What are the directions to Jenny's house in Savannah according to the letter that Forrest received? So while the Misfits are going ahead and writing in their answers and sweating, you guys go ahead and enjoy this wonderful song from Dano Songs. Dano Songs, it's what Misfit Inc uses. Take it away. All right.
Oh my God.
Everybody's typing.
Yeah.
No Googling. No fucking Googling.
Trying to remember if it was.
Got him.
All right, I think I got your answer, Danny, right?
Yeah.
This is all I could remember. I knew it was coming.
No, you did. Ooh.
No, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I sat and looked at it, and I looked at the picture when the moment they called his name when he was sitting in Vietnam. He's like, Gump, I'm Forrest Gump, and he looked at the pictures. I paused. I'm like, damn, I don't think he's gonna do it, but he probably will, so I won't pay any attention to it, and I didn't. And I only remember some of it.
Just go.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 second.
This motherfucker.
All right. Start up again in 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, the question that these guys had to answer was, what are the directions to Jenny's home in Savannah according to the letter that Forrest received? Since I'm in charge of this fuck fest, and I know that Vic would just not pick anything else, he would put in on himself no points. So
No, I was gonna bet.
1 point. Guaranteeing himself the victory.
Right.
For the 3rd time in a row. So I'm going to make this fair for everybody.
That's
I'm
fine.
going to make this fair for everybody. All points are in. The question was, what are the directions to Jenny's home in Savannah according to the letter that Forrest received? And Danny, betting all of his points, said, fuck, okay, I don't know much, but all you got to do is put in P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, and
Oh
the
my
GPS will
God.
take you there. Not but comma, but. I'm sorry, Danny, but that is incorrect. Incorrect. Vic, your answer was Rural Route 2, Greenbow, Alabama. That is incorrect.
Yeah, that's what
Greenbow, Alabama.
That is incorrect because we were looking for her home in Savannah, Georgia, not Greenbow, Alabama. The correct answer is you take the number 9 bus to Richmond Street, get off, go 1 block left to 1947 Henry Street, apartment number 4. So, since for the second time in podcast history, there is no winner, I am choosing the fucking movie.
Finally.
Let me just say, I'm glad that somebody else is picking a movie for a change. I'm tired of this Vic constantly winning. I feel like Russia had their hand in it, and it was rigged. That's all I have to say. That's it. Nothing else.
I really wanted to.
All right, so this movie I have not seen before.
Oh.
Okay?
Is it on Netflix?
I have heard about it. I've heard about it. It is legendary in the movie-knowing community, but I've never watched it. 1993.
Ooh, good year.
After their plane crashes in the Andes Mountains, the surviving members of the Uruguayan rugby team struggle to stay alive on a barren glacier.
George of the Jungle.
No.
Damn it.
Gilligan's Island.
No. The movie is Alive.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. It's called Alive.
Okay. It has. I just want to point out that it has a 62% match of something that I would enjoy, according to my Netflix.
All right.
It looks like an Into the Gray. Ooh, it's Ethan Hawke though. Ooh.
Yes. I'm surprised you guys never heard of Alive.
Never
Really?
heard of it. So much for
No,
Really?
honestly,
So much
I
for
haven't.
Wow. Wow.
Well known
I mean,
in
the
the
only thing
community.
I know about this movie, is that they eat people.
And I will say this: I am a big fan of Ethan Hawke. I think he's a wildly underrated actor, and he is a vampire. He does not change of age. Daybreakers, great movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's weird, right?
I mean, do you guys remember the movie Interview with a Vampire?
Yes.
This
That was a
fucking
good
kid,
movie.
I swear to God, I'm gonna choke him if I ever meet him. Do you remember that old movie, Interview with a Vampire? Had Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. It was really old.
I didn't say it was an old movie. I said this one
You
movie.
didn't know it was
It
an old
is?
movie.
Was it old? Because I don't remember.
It's like 19
You know, Vic, I have to wonder, is this like a habit you learned in fucking school? Like
What?
Like you pretend that you're paying attention by asking a random ass question in the middle of class and then there's just no follow through with it?
No,
Because this is
no.
like the third time you fucking done this where you're like, hey, did you hear about this thing? And everybody's like, yeah. And then that's it. You had no fucking point. There was no continuing story. There wasn't like, yeah,
All right.
because, you know, that movie reminded me of this thing and blah, blah, blah. Or you remember this because I thought this story kind of sounded similar or something. No, there was nothing.
Okay.
It was just sort of like, hey, do you guys know
Okay,
that the sun
you
is
know-
hot? Yes? Huh, okay, that's good to know. I'll put that down in my fucking journal. Like,
All right, fine. I'll follow up. I'll follow up to make you feel better. The reason I thought about that was because Danny mentioned vampires.
mhm.
Hey, you know that one movie where the vampires sparkled? That's basically what you just did, essentially.
You mean Blade? Blade was a good movie.
Oh my god. I hate you. Oh, that's it.
Oh!
Show's over.
Everybody knows that fairy sparkle.
Show's over.
By the way, before we go, because Karen was texting me and she wanted me to let you guys know about Ark, that you can lock your character in. You have to lock your character in their shelter, and they cannot kill you.
Okay, well,
Also,
Can they break down your shelter?
I don't think so. Also, you can. There's another. No, you have to build a stone shelter, and also there's a glitch where you can build a shelter on a raft and hide yourself in the ocean.
well,
the middle of the
that's all
ocean.
going to get cut post-production. That's it. Wrap it up, B.
Yeah.
Donald, take us home.
I just want to say thank you guys for coming out to Greenbow, Alabama. The expensive flight from Tokyo to Alabama is outrageous, but I'm glad you guys can keep this podcast going. I love it. It's amazing. Don't stop what you're doing.
Thank you, Donald.
Are we ready for the game for the people at home who are listening?
Yeah.
The new segment that I almost fucking forgot about.
Oh, what? This is new to me, even.
Yeah, we did it last time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we?
We want to hear your answers below. No copy and pasting. I want to hear something original.
Oh, yeah. Their situation with the thingy and the doodaddy.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So everybody out there, this is your situation. You've been browsing animal porn again.
Oh, damn it.
And haven't deleted it.
I mean,
and then you hear your mom shouting, "I'm just borrowing your iPad."
Oh, no.
So everybody out there, I need to know how you're going to get out of that terribly embarrassing situation utilizing only using only a feather duster. So there you go. You have a feather duster, and your mom has your iPad full of animal porn. So I'm going to hear your answers or read your answers down below.
Feather duster.
And I think that's it. That's all I got for everybody. Does anybody got anything else?
No, I'm so fucking done. So.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining me again this week. And the only thing I have to say is, run, Danny, run!
I'm running, Jenny. I'm running.
Run! Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Felicia's.
All right.